Okay, how you doing? This is Anthony Garraway. I'm doing this report for Professor Cohen's class, and it's like my fifth take because each time I keep going way over. So I'm going to try my best to cut it down as much as possible. This report is about Biceps Tendon Rupture. It's not something you hear about all the time, but it happens. It's where the muscle dislocates. Actually, there's different types, but the type I'm going to be talking about is the distal type. I mean the proximal type, where the bicep, one of the heads, the long head usually is the one that disconnects from the top of the shoulder, from the, where it's connected at. Okay? Now, before I get into this, I must cite my my references, because I'll do this whole report and forget it, and I'll lose points. And no, you're not taking points from me. I need all my points. Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Jonathan Cutlet from orthopedics.about.com. It's an about.com site. Then there's also the website called emedicinehealth.com. And last but not least, mdguidelines.com. Okay, the first thing I want to do is talk about what exactly is bicep rupture tendon rupture, which we already spoke about. It's where basically the bicep tendon removes from the bone. That can happen in a lot of different circumstances. It can happen due to old age. It can happen due to, physical activity. Okay, here it is. The reason why I chose this is because I'm a victim. And I'm going to tell you about my own experience. And what I found is that my experience is typical of the experiences of the majority of people that experience this. In my case, it's not because I was old. Usually it happens in old people, but it also happens in athletes, which, of course, yours truly is an athlete, even though now I'm all about A&P. Okay, switch. There we go. This guy's not happy. I don't blame him. You see his arm right there? See that arm? Okay, now that arm is good. But he's not happy because he can't show you the other arm. Okay, that's the good arm. Oh yeah. See how the muscles, everything's full. It's there. Where it's supposed to be. Okay, another here. Oh, tricep, bicep. I mean, that's like, and everything's correct. I mean, bicep, knocking out. Bicep, yeah. Oh, tricep, everything's there. Okay, so this is how it is. Okay, there's the bad guy. Okay, you can see here, there's a space in there, okay? Right in there. That's because when the bicep got loose, it fell, okay? And it bulged up. And now here's the thing. When you're dealing with this type of injury with an adult, it's very rare that they're going to do surgery on an adult, because this type of injury, when it happens proximal, isn't as bad as when it happens distal. When it happens distal, they sort of like have no choice but to do surgery, and what they'll do is they'll reconnect the bone. Okay, now they have no choice because there's only one head down here where it's connected at. Up here there's two. So when one disconnects, you still have the other one. Okay? Here, when it happens here, distally, you don't have both. So you have to you basically lose function of your bicep. You can't flex anymore because it's gone. Up here, you're still good. Now, here's some of the symptoms that'll tell you that you have it, that you've had that happen to you. With me, there was a big snap. I had like 400 pounds on my chest. I heard the snap, click. But I maintained that weight because, I'm a man. Okay, I don't have enough time for that right now because I'm going on 5 minutes now, so I got to start wrapping it up. Okay, there was some pain, but it wasn't real great pain, but it was enough for me to use something that us old-timers know as Ben Gay. So I use Ben Gay. Okay, now treatment is usually only reserved for the young people, because other than that, it's just for cosmetic purposes.
So doctors will refuse to do this type of surgery to reconnect it from here to there. And what happens is after a while anyway, once if you don't catch it right away and it goes down there, it drops, guess what happens? It will start to atrophy and it'll start to make itself into a permanent ball. So then you can't stretch it out. You can't put it back the way it is. So if you intend on having surgery, you got to have surgery right away. Now, I thank you for your time and effort. Let me show you some more pictures.
Okay, we have to go. I'm going in 6 minutes. Thank you very much for your time and effort.